Morning and happy July 1st 2017. It's I'm here in eastern North Carolina, and you can see it's overcast, and my phone camera's getting a little bit sticky this morning. But I wanted to show you, for some reason, when people paint David Bradleys, a lot of times they'll paint right over the brass manufacturing tag. And I was thinking to myself, I wonder if acetone by itself would cut that. And I've already started, and you can see I'm having pretty good luck. I'm using a brass brush. You know, you can find these in a lot of stores. 3 or 4 brushes for just a few dollars, and it's coming off. It's leaving the black for the background, which is important if you want to be able to see. Now that's brass. I've got a new black plastic one. Let's see if it will do some good too. It's doing some. You can see there's a little bit of red tint, but I think that brass, it's soft, but it has just enough. And you can see it smearing that, so you know that it's cutting through. But this was the tractor that was supposed to be my show tractor, but what they did on the frame, let me show you that real quick. Let me get it for this chair. Let me turn the light on here in the shop. Now you can see, let me just use my toe here. Down here they welded about 6 inches, 5 to 6 inches to the end of it, because they had put a 3.5 horsepower Briggs that had the gas tank and everything on it, and so when they did that, the hood wouldn't go down, so they extended the frame of it. And let me show you this. One of my videos, I said I'm not sure how they got that hood to go down. Well, now you can see how. See where they cut the hood mount should have been back here, and see they welded it on, moved it forward and welded it on, so that way they could get the hood down over that Briggs & Stratton. So what does that mean? If the original frame and everything has been changed, that's not one you plan on using for a show tractor. You want it to be as original as possible. And remember, excuse my radio, let me turn this down. I'm better off, I'll turn it off. Remember, this is a Briggs 1953 Model 8. This is an original David Bradley. You can see, here we go. Hope you can see that. See, it's got Sears Roebuck. That lets you know it was a David Bradley Briggs. Now, this sat for a long time. It was in a good shelter, cleaned up, all the oil drained out of it, no gas, carburetors cleaned and everything. So I'll be honest with you, I was kind of scared to get it off the shelf. But I did. I put oil in it and double checked the carburetor, and you can see carburetor still got the hose going up to a tank up there on next to the wall. But I knew I would be here a week pulling that rope start. So I had seen where several people actually, have taken a bolt and use it in the grinder to square the head and to put some edge on the end down there where the threads are, where you could put it in a drill and then it would fit inside the square hole for a socket, so you could go put it inside the cup for the rope pull and turn over your motor and not sit there and have to wind that rope all day. What was the result? I got a cold start, but it took a drill to do it. I knew that I weren't going to have a start right off of one of these. But you can see it's got a mechanical governor, and it hadn't been running a long time, and so it took that constant turning over the drill of the flywheel to get it to prime and to crank, and I have to have the choke just about completely shut for it to stay running, and it's a playing with the throttle, playing with the choke to get it running, and so I need probably another person here adjusting the carburetor. It did run long enough to let me see that it was leaking over here on the pulley side. You can see it's wet where I wiped up the oil. It's leaking from that oil seal there. And another thing is I need to put a gasket here. You know, this is where you adjust the valves. Never could figure out though why they vent this plate. See, it's got a vent in there. I kept thinking, well, maybe they ran some kind of hose for some vacuum or something, but I just, you know, these are old motors and I never knew that. But you would think that having that big a hole that it would just draw dust and stuff in there. So I'm going to see if I can find out why they vented that plate. I am going to put a gasket, and I might put a gasket completely over the same size of that plate and covering up that hole. But I've got to find out from somebody, you know, why it's there for. But anyhow, I just want to let you know I've started on the second David Bradley. You can see there was my first one. But I want to get this 1953 motor and put on this. You know, I've got the tank there. I did have it on there and had it cranked from that. But again, you know, you just about have to have the thing sitting in your lap to keep it going. But I'll let you know as I get this one worked on. I will probably put that 3.5 newer Briggs on this one. I'm getting all the dirt and everything off to paint this one. I hope the clutch assembly and all is a little bit loose, but if it'll go and not slip too bad, I'm not going to worry about taking it off and doing a lot of adjustments. You know, if it goes, why try to fix it? But if it slips a lot, at least this is a newer one. Instead of just having the one pin, this one, you can tell, has an Allen screw and then it has the adjustment ring underneath that. And we've seen Dan O'Connor fix these. Seems from looking at the videos that this is a lot easier than the older ones that just have one pin holding all that in. And I worked a week trying to get the pin out of that first one I worked on, and just didn't have any success. But I'm not a mechanic and I'm not a machinist, and I did everything I saw everybody else to do, but it just didn't work. So I did get it where, by spraying some Panther P in the clutch assembly, I got it where it would spin free when you pull back on the clutch lever. So I'll hush now. I'm going to get back to work, and I'll let you know as this one comes together. Hope y'all have a good 4th of July weekend. Bye-bye.